welcome back to episode 6 of the Detours in Music podcast. Today we have a pretty quick episode featuring Dr. Mary Jean Speare, who's the Associate Director of the School of Music at JMU.
This is Mary Jean Speare. I'm the Associate Director at the James Madison University School of Music.
Great. Can you tell us how you got your start in music?
Well, very similarly to many people, I started taking piano lessons when I was little, about 7 years old. I really wanted to start when I was about 4 when we first got a piano, but I wasn't allowed to until I was 7.
Yeah.
And when I saw the big pieces that people were playing at recitals, I wanted to play those pieces too.
Where did you attend school?
I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico originally, and I went to Eastern New Mexico University, which is in a small town called Portales. It calls itself the peanut capital of the world. I don't know if that's true or not. And I was a piano major, piano performance and pedagogy. And then I went to Southern Methodist University for my master's degree in piano.
In Texas.
In Texas. And then I went to first there were some detours. I went to University of North Texas for a PhD in musicology, and then changed to Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri.
What was the transition for you into choosing a degree in musicology versus performance?
In my case, something really bad happened, and I made it into something really good. I had some arm injuries during my master's degree, and I was able to finish my master's degree in piano, but it was clear that I wasn't going to be able to stay on the course that I had piloted, which was get a DMA in piano, then teach piano in college. And so I was interested in music history. I was always good at that kind of coursework. And so I decided to try musicology. I took quite a lot of music history courses at SMU, and then went to the University of North Texas, not really knowing exactly what kind of project I would like to do. And it was there that I figured out, okay, this is what I want to do, which is something operatic, but in French opera. And so that's when I went to Washington University.
When you were having that detour, I guess, of no longer thinking you could perform as well as you thought, did you consider other career options entirely?
No, I really wanted to stay in music.
And I guess at that point too, you already had 2 degrees in music, so it's you're still qualified to do things, I guess.
And I didn't really know how long it would take for my arms to recover either. It ended up taking about 10 years, so it's actually good that I switched. But I found out much later that I have a birth defect that may have caused those injuries, which is strange. I had no idea.
In your adolescence, was there times when you considered another career path?
Probably, I'm trying to think. I think that I became really serious about the piano in about the 7th grade. And was doing competitions and, all of those things, the sort of state music teachers competitions. And I don't think I ever really seriously considered anything else, although I liked English courses and writing and that sort of thing.
Which then led to musicology. Awesome.
Yes.
Do you have advice for younger players, college students, all of the above?
When I look at college students around me now and I think about how I was, I think one of the key points of my success as an undergraduate was that I got enough sleep. And it just seems like a lot of students are really short on sleep, and that really affects their performance. So my advice is get enough sleep, start studying for courses, tests way in advance, and don't stay up all night for anything. And you will really be helping yourself.
Yeah. I think on Professor Newman's Door, he has something about like hero complex, where it's like, it's not cool that you had to stay up all night, and it's not cool that you're not taking care of yourself by eating and sleeping and just doing good things for your body. It's like, yes, we believe you that you're busy, but that's not good.
Yes.
It's like you need to take things back and really make sure that you're able to fulfill all of the things you say you can, I guess.
Yes. And I think, research shows even more than we knew when I was an undergraduate, that just sitting around practicing all day is not good. You need to get out and move around because you're not doing your body any good.
Even to stand.
Even to stand, yeah.
Would you say that your big musical detour in your life was when your hand was injured?
Yes. That really changed everything for me, because I really was very set on this career. When I started my master's degree, I remember my father saying, well, where do you think you're going to go for your doctorate? And he was someone who never believed in a doctorate before that. So it was very clear to everyone that that was what I was going to be doing, and then everything changed.
Yeah. For you, was it, you had kind of noticed your whole life that things kind of ached, or it was sudden? It
was pretty sudden. Okay. I remember having back pain in high school, sometimes when I would practice, but it would never really stop me. But there was actually one day when I did one run through for my graduate recital, and then I did another one that day, and the next day I couldn't play. So it was a really sudden injury, actually.
Because I just actually came from a lesson, and I have graduate auditions starting next week, and she's like, yep, run it all and keep running it. And I guess if you're in a place where you're prone to injury, or it's likely to happen, there probably is a quick breaking point that you don't even realize, and then you get that sleep, and then your body says, nope, it's not doing it again, I guess.
Yeah. It was very unfortunate, but it's not something that I regret all that much.
How would you define detour, I guess, for other people, or looking back at your life, whether it's like a positive or a negative?
Yeah, I think it's important to recognize that things happen, and even if they aren't good, I mean, sometimes it's really horrible things. You kind of have to step back and take stock, and as much as you can, turn it into something positive. So that was the positive thing that I found with that. With other people, it may not be quite as drastic as that, know. And I guess, take time to think about things that you might find interesting. For example, you found that podcasts became a real interest for you. And whether it somehow becomes part of your career or not, it's important.
Yeah.
For me, right now, I'm really interested in gardening. So that's an important outlet for me, So I think for everyone, the takeaway I would think of from my life is just take time to think about what interests you. And even if you're really focused on something, that's good, but maybe it shouldn't be everything in your life. The only focus, yeah.
And I guess ways to incorporate those like hobbies or other interests, because they could, I guess, impact your music in a bigger way than we all think.
Yeah.
Possibly.
From Tchaikovsky, inspiration is a guest that does not often visit the lazy. Because I've seen a number of people over the years who were very, very talented, but they didn't work hard enough to really do anything with that talent. And it just always seemed like such a shame, to me. So in anything, in your practice, in composition, in writing. I have a lot of students writing papers, and you really have to work at it to produce something that's good, just as you have to practice in order to perform well. So I like that, although it kind of sounds a little bit contradictory from what I was just saying, that you have to also take time to take care of yourself, but not so much time that you're not doing what you need to be doing.
Definitely.
I suppose. Well, okay, so Benjamin Britten, the old idea of a composer suddenly having a terrific idea and sitting up all night to write is nonsense. Nighttime is for sleeping. That also spoke to me.
Yeah.
I think it sort of says both of those things, that you need your rest, but then you also need to work at
the concept that, like, I'm talented, so I will do well, is, like, only halfway. Maybe not even halfway.
Right.
And I think, at least in my experience as an undergrad here, that's something I'm having to work through. Is it's like, just because someone thinks I'm good, or I've been told that I'm good, you also have to, like, make sure you're still good, or make sure you're still improving.
It's nice to hear that,
yes, but you also have to know if it's true.
Yes, and it's on you.
Can you explain more what your job is here, or you have this title, but I'm not sure exactly
what I do.
It means. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I think of myself as being someone who is here to help as much as possible. Help the director. When people have questions, they send them my way. I try to help them. Try to help students who are struggling. And I do have certain areas that I oversee. For example, I oversee the distribution of scholarships to students. I oversee the scheduling process for courses. I don't schedule all the courses myself, but when people have questions about can we change this or that, then I try to help with that. And I also teach classes as well. So I teach a graduate seminar sometimes, and I also do an undergraduate seminar. They alternate. And right now I'm teaching a music appreciation honors class.
Oh, cool. I hope you all enjoyed listening to that episode as much as I did recording it. Our next episode will feature JMU theory professor Dr. John Peterson. Until then, catch up with our other episodes at Detours in Music on YouTube and on Instagram. Thanks.